Just another technique. Create a strong profile. This is, again, the conversion from academic environment to the post-academic environment. And high profile is this section up here, the first page of the resume. This is where I want to know what you can do for me very quickly. So when I'm in a recruitment role and I've got this many resumes to look at of very high caliber people. So yes, the job market is incredible, great, but you're competing with some pretty incredible people. So I want to hire the best of the best, make my job easy, tailor the job to me, highlight what you've got in really strong, clear terms, and start speaking to me immediately. Don't beat around the bush. Cut to the chase. That's in the time-oriented environment that you're going into, that would be important. So I've just given you a few pointers on how you could do that. And I would say highlight your specific skills, knowledge, or experience that you have. So I've drawn some examples in this sample resume so you can see how to do that. This person looked at their background and said, what experience specifically do I have to the targeted job? And they grabbed a sentence, wrote it up, and then spoke then after experience to knowledge, then to skills. So you really want to get down to business much more quickly. You can, in this section, also include special accomplishments. Perhaps you've had an award-winning publication within the academic environment. Well, that speaks to it's an academic environment, but you're a very valued writer within your world, and those skills would transfer quite nicely. So somehow sell the good stuff is my bottom line. I don't know everybody's life, but all of you have contributed in unique and special ways. Figure that out, name it, and write it. Did you have a question? No? Okay. In terms of, and I'm not going to walk you through the whole resume, but when we get into writing the job experience, I find people have struggle around that. So a few coaching points on that. They tend to undersell their experience. They tend to undersell themselves. And in business, you want to follow the same. So I'm going to borrow Alex's words. They were beautiful, and they apply here. He said that the academics look for documented evidence. We do too in business. So we're looking for documented evidence of what you've accomplished. So when you write up your accomplishments, do it in a non-fluff way. So we don't want fluff either, just in case you're thinking, that's not the fluffy world and this is the fluffy world. No, 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 no. Okay, don't be careful about that categorization. There are some worlds that do not want any fluff. IT doesn't want fluff. Information technology, engineering doesn't want fluff. Financial services, accounting, even not-for-profits, you know, they're more heart-driven, I'll say, but they don't want fluff either. So you still have to have documented evidence of your accomplishments. So here's a little formula you may want to follow. I call it the verb plus task equals result. So what did you do? Verb. So you're all experts at communicating. Verb is what? Action. So what do employers hire you for? Action. They want you to do. So start your sentence in what you've done in the past, suggesting that you've taken action. So verb is did what. Task is to what. So what action did I take to what? But the red result is what most students leave off, I observe. They don't tell me what the outcome was. And that's what I want to know because it distinguishes you from your colleagues. So create a sentence that describes what you did and what result occurred. So how do you do that? Okay, we'll start that sentence with an action verb. That's one way. But employers love, because they're time-oriented and money-oriented, they love it when there is an outcome in terms of dollars or numbers or volume or percentages. So if in any of your past lives you have done something that improved something, grew something, decreased something, do tell us. We're very interested in that. And the last technique, and these are just optional techniques, and this is writing, so you're going to appreciate that writing, I don't give you one formula and you apply all the things every time you write a sentence. You apply some of them some of the time and some of them other times. But the last point is identify what was the outcome for your efforts. I want to know what impact you had. So if we don't go to the result level, you and I could look exactly the same. but people don't perform in the same way, and the result of this sentence tells us how we distinguish from one another. So those are just some quick tips for if you're deciding to do that. In terms of then a summary of industry, the priority is your capacity to thrive in the corporate or organizational environment, and that may be a bit of a cultural shift for some of you, so you've got to communicate that you're capable of doing that. So they're looking for leadership, they're looking for strategic thinking, they're looking for problem-solving capacity, analytical skills. They're looking for all those things you do so second nature you don't even think about. So now you have to want to speak to them. Emphasize the transferable skills. So we talked in last session about those, and I've given you a few hints about those in this session. They want to look to, so as Alex said, this was absolutely right. They are looking for your involvement outside of the academic environment. I immediately look on a resume for your contributions outside of the academic environment. What committees did you participate in? Were you involved in some volunteer activities? What else do you do for fun? I'm looking for a whole person. I'm looking for a fit. And I want to know how you're going to fit into my organization, and those things suggest that. If you're wondering how to do that, start by joining a professional association within your field. Start to get smart about who those people are and hang out with them and start to get to know people within your industry. And if you don't know or there isn't one, do information interviews. Those are a very powerful way to learn from another person about what they do and what kinds of jobs exist.